late. This is a conversation that the youth should have had yesterday, because as we move towards the next general election, the youth are always the ingredient of election. Whether they are the stone throwers, whether they are the mobilizers, whether they are the violent, the cause of the violent political groupings and divisions, the youth are always at the center of any electoral process. And unless they're aligned in terms of thinking, in terms of progressive voices, in terms of why they need to approach election and why they're actually in the election in the first place, and the youth participation in that election, unless such conversation takes place, the youth will always just be used. And after election, they start complaining. And when they complain, they are told, where were you when you were electing? And if they dare go to the street, they are killed, they are arrested, and we've lost far too many lives of young people since independence. It did not just start recently. Since the fight for independence, when the colonialists they were fighting for against the colonialists. They were the youth who were fighting these people, and some of them are now old. Now we came to multipartyism. They were the youth who died. The leaders who are the head of this movement did not die. They are the same people who are leading us today, but the youth died in the process. Then we came to the new constitution, the fight for IBC. The youth died. Whether we are from Azimio or Onasa, during that time, most youth died. And some of them were also arrested. Some of them have become deformed forever. So every election has become a disaster for the young people, and that's why I believe this was timely. It is not just timely; it must be done every time, every day until the election day.
So what do you feel is the essence of this? Is it just conversations or is it urging them to join political parties and is that the remedy?
Yes, in fact, individually, I've urged them that it is a time for youth to form one political movement, because the youth are not going to be given certificate to vie in ODM. They are not going to be given certificate to vie in UDA. They are not going to be given certificate to vie in DCP or in WIPA, because people have known youth that are becoming lethal. The Gen Z are lethal. Who will give them certificate to vie? They will be there. They will make noise. They will sing for them. They will do social media for those political dinosaurs. They'll do everything that the politics requires. But they'll not wake up one day and say, "A youth, now here is your ticket to go and vie for Makadara." They'll not. They'll give to an old man, probably a person who is well established. So I'm urging the youth that once these people are elected again, we do not want you to come 2027 in October on the street saying so and so must go. Either whether it is Ruto, whether it will be Kalonzo, you start saying Kalonzo must go. You start telling us, oh, this Munyoro must go, or Matiang'i must go. You must actually be in parliament so that if that rogue person messes up the country, you impeach him. You
So
don't impeach him on the street, you impeach him in the parliament.
these traditional political parties, are they part of the problem?
Yes, of
To what
course,
end?
because number one, they are ethnicized, they're regional based, they've been formed by individuals. Individuals, for example, when now we look at how Moi came in after the death of Kenyatta. Moi took over without election. Probably if there was an election, Moi will not be the president. So that was a conspiracy theory. Moi took over without election. Now, since Moi took over, up to now, there has never been a meaningful change in this country. Why? Because the team that was serving in Moi's cabinet are the same people still serving in current cabinet or leadership. If you look at the team that sent Moi home, on one side we had Moi, Uhuru, and William Ruto. On the other side, we had Raila, Kibaki, Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi, and the rest. When in the next election, now the team that was with Uhuru, which is Ruto, jumped and joined Raila Odinga on one side. Uhuru Kenyatta on the other side now joined the team with Kibaki, which was initially with Raila. The following election, now Ruto now leaves Raila, joins Uhuru. Mudavadi also leaves Uhuru, joins Raila. The following election, Raila on one side, Kalonzo, and the other side now, Ruto leaves, Raila joins Uhuru. Now, after Uhuru has gone, Uhuru now leaves Ruto, he joins Raila. Raila now, after Uhuru has left, Raila was on one side with Uhuru, the other side was William Ruto, Mudavadi, and the rest. Raila has left Uhuru, now he's with William Ruto. And the circus continues. It's a game of musical chairs. That's what I'm telling you people. What makes you think the people who have served in the same cabinet cannot work together after election? And they pretend to say that we are doing this so that we stabilize the country. But they're the same monkeys, the same forest.
So it's safe to say that these big wigs are political cousins.
Yes.
But then what
Because
we
what
see,
explains to you that it is so quick that we were following one coalition, think it is a change. Then,
okay,
they quickly work with the other coalition so fast because they've worked together before. So that's why we say these have been part of our problem because we paralyze the nation. We say one area against the other, and the two people easily come together to work. And they don't work together to solve anything. The next election again, the circle B repeats, and you'll find even if for example, and I have very great respect for Kalonzo, and we've shared a podium here, but just imagination that if Kalonzo wins next election, what makes you think that he cannot call William Ruto that now this Gashago is taking me around circles, come we work together. I'm just thinking they've worked together before.
so then what is the space?
Your outfit says Kenya Moja, which is to bring all Kenyans together. But it seems you are sidelining the old generation. Are you going to the ballot with as a presidential candidate on your own movement?
We were in Funyula the other day. We were in Funyula 2 weeks ago. We were in Funyula. The person who invited us in Funyula is Professor Christopher Oundo. Do you know how old Oundo is?
Yes.
Is he a young man or an old man? Thank you. So this is not something to do with the youth versus the old. It is actually progressive mind. And you can be a new person and you are old. It's just that these are people who have not been on the high position of decision making. They may be old, they may be young, but they are new in the space.
So that speaks to the question of mentorship of these young people.
Exactly. You need, as much as we need young people, they cannot just be young people in power. They need also good old people who have been there, they have wisdom, they can share. Good ones. We are saying good ones. No, because not all of them are good leaders whom young people can emulate.
So in short, you're saying your movement is ready to work with the whatever generation.
Any person, any generation, any woman, any lady, any whoever, as long as you have a progressive mind that believes the status quo must change and that Kenya needs a renaissance.
Mheshimiwa, away from the politics of the youth, today the government released a document that paints rather a good picture of how much they have performed in the last 3 years, even as we wait for the 13th of September on Saturday. In your view, for the last 3 years, how much do you think has been done or has not been done, and what do you think should be done differently for the next 2 years?
Of course, a lot has not been done well. From which perspective? Your question is coming from which perspective? The government or?
The government, of course, because
Yeah.
it is the one that boasts itself of having achieved in the economic area, in the agriculture area, and the rest of the pillars.
It must trickle down to the common manage. So if you are saying there is a transformation in education sector, we must see that the schools are working without any complaints, the teachers are in class, and the students are all in class and not on the streets going home. If you are to talk about health sector, we should know that if you live here in Nairobi and go to any single village and ask somebody has SHA worked, they'll carry their hands and say, yes, I'm a beneficiary of SHA. That's how you trace the systems that work. If you say youth transformation and youth empowerment, you must even ask from where you are. Just ask the next young person from where you are that have you gone any empowerment? Are you employed? Is there youth facing unemployment rate? Then if they say no, me I'm okay, then you know the government is achieved. It is not rocket science. It is something that must be felt. If the youth are in the streets saying we don't have jobs, then why will you say the government has achieved on youth employment? Kenya is now being rated as one of the countries with the biggest youth population bulge, and it is increasing. As we approach the next election, it is going to be worse. So how has government tackled youth unemployment? And as the more economy continues being bad, because the youth get employed where it's not the jobs don't drop like manna from heaven. The economy must be performing well for it to accommodate youth employment. So if the economy is already performing badly, it means the youth case is only growing worse. Yes.
Thank you.
Hiyo
Thank you.
imetosha.
Thank you.